Hi, I'm Gandalf Clark.
I'm Ellen Clark.
And
we're the Clarks.
Hey everyone.
Hi. So today we want to talk about the most recent episode of South Park. And what was it about? Ozempic. Yeah, so a lot of our friends and family, and probably a million people that you know, are on this drug and similar drugs.
Yeah, we're here to tell you it's not good.
Yeah. Now, I mean, for some people, the risks outweigh the side effects. You know, people who are diabetic.
Okay, you mean the positives outweigh...
Right, the positives outweigh the risks.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's a lot of things you guys might want to know about this that you might not be aware of. So whether you like it, whether you hate it, either way, we just want to report to you guys what we know about it that you might not know.
Right.
So...
With me, as always, my trusty weed vape.
Yeah. So first, let's talk about that episode of South Park. Oh my God, it was so good, right? South Park always says what we're all thinking.
Yep.
True content with courage. Content with courage approved. 100%.
Absolutely.
We love South Park. It's been saying the obvious for years. So the first thing, I saw the reaction video this weekend with Lizzo. And that was amazing. So if you haven't seen South Park yet, you got to go watch that before watching this. And then you got to go on to TikTok and see Lizzo's reaction to South Park.
Plus.
Yep. So Lizzo was like, I am that bitch. I am that bitch that makes you feel body positive, makes you feel like, you know, you don't have to worry about all that shit. You can love yourself. Honestly, that is one of the hardest things to learn in life.
It is.
I still
have a hard time with it to this day. I used to be really skinny. I used to be kind of athletic. I mean, not really athletic, but I used to be really skinny. When we first met, I was really skinny. I mean, I smoked a pack of cigarettes a day, but I was skinny as
Neither one of us have ever been healthy.
No, we've never been.
We've been skinny, but we haven't been healthy.
Right, and that's. I mean, I was healthy when I was like a teenager, I think. But
before you started smoking,
I had to get my appendix out when I was 15. I don't know if that's any reflection of anything, but whatever the case is, you know, I used to be really skinny, and I hate being as fat as I am, and it's been hard to come to terms with the fact that I am, you know, obese, and I have to live with that because these drugs are not good. Yeah. There's a lot of side effects. There's a lot of really, really bad side effects. Our roommate was on this for a little while, and he had to go to the hospital for an acute gallbladder attack.
In the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night, we had to take him to the hospital.
So I don't sleep in the middle of the night all the time. I'm doing much better, by the way. I'm doing much better actually sleeping in the middle of the night. Not this week, because I have some bad constipation. But when he was staying with us, I went downstairs in the middle of the night, and he was there, and he was like, I got to go to the hospital. And so I woke up Gandalf, and
actually, I believe it happened up here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He peeked in my room because I was still awake, and he's like, I am in so much pain. And he went downstairs, and he was sitting on the couch, and he's like, I got to go to the hospital. And I'm like, do you want an ambulance? Because that may take longer, or do you want to try to make it to the hospital? Because we live, like, less than 2 miles from the hospital, okay? And he's like, I want to try to make it. And we all went there, and it was pancreatitis. But we're going to...
No, it was gallbladder.
Yeah, it was gallbladder.
It was gallbladder.
Yeah, gallbladder.
If you are on Ozempic, there is like an 80% chance you're going to have a problem with your gallbladder.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So let's talk about the South Park episode. So we love what Lizzo did there. We love her reaction. It was awesome. One thing that really helped me with being more body positive is there's this woman who wrote a book called The Fuck It Diet. And she was talking about how in order to get over eating disorders, in order to actually feed yourself properly, you just need to say fuck it and just eat whatever you want. And over time, this helps to heal you. And I think it really has healed me from my eating disorders. It's actually helped me realize when I eat food, I want to eat it so that I become strong and so that I reduce the inflammation in my body. And even right now, when I'm having these problems with constipation, I'm making food that I think will help me I'm making soup with ginger, and I'm making beans that are helping with fiber. And then today I'm going to make a yogurt banana smoothie. So that's the kind of way I feed myself and say, fuck it to diet. Because if I was on a diet, I would be like, oh, I don't want that many calories from, this or that, You
definitely wouldn't be making a banana smoothie.
Yeah.
That you definitely wouldn't be doing.
No, I wouldn't be wanting to have all the dairy or anything like that, So I love that about the Lizzo. The second thing I wanted to talk about in the South Park episode is that Cartman, a kid, was trying to get on the Ozempic drug. Now, he didn't have diabetes. With eating the way he did, it's definitely possible that he could have type 2 diabetes at some point.
Absolutely.
But really, that should be for him and his doctor and his mom to decide, not for his friends to, make the drug.
Yeah, that was pretty.
That was pretty crazy.
That was pretty hilarious.
Yeah,
I have to admit that was they were making the drug and they were selling it, and then they got attacked by.
Yeah.
They got attacked by.
All the women who wanted to be
people
on the
haven't
drug.
watched this yet. I don't.
Yeah. No, we said spoilers. We're talking about it. So if you haven't watched it, you got to go back and watch it. So they were crazed. They wanted this drug, and they were having the drug parties and everything. And what's so funny about it is Stan was doing this in secret, and his wife did not even care. She's like, no, everybody. No, it's Randy. It's Randy. Sorry, I'm so bad with names. You guys know this about me. So Randy's wife was just I want to do it too. And then her friend's asking so what do you do to keep your weight? Oh, Lizzo, because I don't have money for that. But then at the end they're just let's do drugs that are fun. Let's do some Molly. So it's it's not.
I've never done, so I have no point of reference. So.
Yeah. So let's start that off as the first list of side effects that I found out. Apparently, when you take these types of GLP-1 drugs, one of the first things that happens is you lose desire. You lose desire to eat, yes, but you can also lose desire for sex. You can lose desire to just want to live your life. To do fun things, to have that warm, happy feeling inside of you, to just want to do fun things. That feels so sad to me. And I think that's why there's a major warning saying that you can become depressed and possibly suicidal.
Right.
Yeah. Now, the other thing that they talk about, obviously nausea, and it's an appetite suppressant and everything. But one other thing that I thought was kind of scary is that the drug company that makes this is in Denmark, and this drug is not approved in Denmark. They won't let their people have it. That's a major red flag to me. They're letting it be prescribed all over the world, but in the place where they came up with it, they're like, you don't trust that. So that doesn't feel good to me. The next thing that is really bothering to me... You okay, honey?
Yeah, I'm fine.
As a person with IBS and Crohn's, my problem is that this drug does the same thing as bariatric surgery, which is you starve yourself. That is not a good way to lose weight. What that does is you lose muscle. That's the number one thing you lose. You're not just losing fat, you're losing muscle, and you're losing strength in your body. And when you lose muscle, that makes you lose your ability to have a good metabolism. It makes you lose your ability to fight off disease. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
It makes you have a problem with anything that your muscles do in your body. And this is the thing is, as you get older, every year that you get older, you lose muscle in your body. So the thing that you have to do when you're on Ozempic, if you are on this, you must weight lift. You must do strengthening exercises like Pilates, yoga, anything that is strength training. You must do this 5 days a week probably. I would do, weight training and then do cardio, and then weight training, and then cardio, and then weight training.
And anaerobic. Switch off aerobic and anaerobic. So switch
it out.
That's what they taught me when I was in high school.
You don't want to lose your muscle. The other thing you want to do is you want to increase your protein, because you're losing muscle. You're going to be losing the protein in your body, and you're going to be losing your ability to make as much protein in your body. So, whatever your normal protein is for your body, you might want to see a dietitian so that they can help you figure out how much protein you need to add, and you need to add more vitamins to your body as well. Okay? So you would put your body in a compromised position, okay? You put your body in a state that I'm in, actually, with Crohn's disease. Your intestines are inflamed. So your intestines have the inability to absorb nutrients. That's what Crohn's disease is. You're inflamed. It's the same thing with colitis. So when the food travels through your intestines, it doesn't pick up all those vitamins like it normally should, okay? And so when you have a GLP-1 drug, okay, and as they make these more complicated, they're attacking more of these GLP indicators, okay? So, the first one, Ozempic, is only one GLP, but as they have Mounjaro and all these other ones, they have more and more GLPs that they're attacking. They're saying, you're not hungry, you're satisfied, okay? So your body is not having the ability to absorb all of these things, and what that does, number one, it can cause gastroparesis. Gastroparesis is a disease that many people have due to anorexia and bulimia. When you throw up and you have an inflammation in your esophagus and in your stomach, it makes it so that you can't absorb those vitamins and minerals. You're having the same situation. That's another thing that these drugs do. So it causes a problem with gastric emptying, okay? So your stomach does not know how to deal with food any longer. And this is the same problem with gastric bypass. So your body is like, I don't know what to do with food. So when you eat food, your body is like, I don't know what to do with food. So it's really important to make sure that you're nourished, make sure you're working with a nutritionist. We had a friend who did a gastric bypass surgery, and what it did to his body, number one, he wasn't getting the nutrients he needs. He had to start taking we recommended to him and talked to his doctor that he should take drugs to help him heal his stomach, and to take vitamins that are like prenatal vitamins, because when you're having pregnancy, the baby's taking a lot of vitamins from you, and you need more vitamins. And Gandalf and I both actually take vitamins for people who are over 50, even though we're not over 50, because we have stomach disorders. We need more vitamins, okay? So when you're on these drugs, your body's not able to absorb. You need to be tested constantly. You need to talk with your doctor and have them test all your vitamin panels. It's called a CBC. They need to check, is there inflammation in your body? Are you able to digest the food properly? Is your stomach emptying? Now, what happens if you get gastroparesis, okay, as a result of Ozempic? Now, I have a ton of friends with gastroparesis. A lot of them, yes, have had eating disorders, but some people this just happens to because your body decides, I don't know how my stomach works. My stomach isn't working anymore. We are not robots. Your body just does whatever the hell it wants based on your genes, your environment, how you're born. We weren't built in a factory. There's no quality assurance technician making sure your stomach printed out properly from your mother's vagina, from her uterus, womb, yes. So basically, you can't eat normal food if you have gastroparesis. You have to eat soups, you have to eat smoothies, you have to eat food that's pretty much already masticated. You may not get the nutrition you need. So our friend who had gastric bypass surgery, he had lost so many nutrients that his knees were bow-legged. He had a problem going up and down the stairs, and this was a massive problem for him because they only had a bathroom on the second floor. So he didn't have a way to go pee if he went downstairs. And the problem was the food was downstairs. So that was a really difficult position, sleep in bathrooms on the top floor, food and the outside is on the main floor, and he also became an alcoholic because the pain in his stomach was so bad. He was taking the liquid morphine, and because his stomach was hurting so much, and then when the doctors took that away, the only way to make his stomach stop hurting was to continue drinking alcohol. So that didn't end up well for him. And in addition, both he and his wife, who did the gastric bypass surgery, regained all the weight. So that's
actually he never lost any.
Oh right, he never did. He never lost any weight. It was a completely botched surgery.
She did regain all the weight, as far as
right.
I can tell. Yeah.
And that's what also happened with Ozempic. When you stop taking it, you will regain the weight. So, for people who are diabetic, this is a lifelong situation because you're diabetic. Your body doesn't work right. And the drug will probably work more correctly on you if you are diabetic. Now, if you're just taking it for weight loss, the risk for you is just so much higher because, you've now given your body this other obstacle where you have taken away its ability to have a metabolism. And then when your doctor may take you off the drug because you're not diabetic, you regain the weight, and now your body has no way to lose that weight and to keep it off. So then you have the risk factors of obesity, but you have no way to lose that weight. So that doesn't really seem worth it to me if the drugs are in, if they're in low supply, the people who are going to get them are the people who are diabetic. Especially in a country where we may be going into an authoritarian government. You have to consider that. They may ration the drugs to people who need them.
That's a whole different video, but let's stick to what we're talking about here.
So the other thing that you might want to consider is you want to get a DEXA scan. A DEXA scan is a full body scan where they take a picture of your bones to make sure that you don't have osteoporosis, to make sure that you're not losing calcium in your bones. I have to do that for Crohn's as well because, like I said, you're not getting all the nutrients you need. So the other things that you'll want to consider, so these are the risks, the other risks that are associated. If you have a bowel obstruction, there's an increase of bowel obstruction risk of 450% if you're on these drugs. Okay? So if you have any other stomach diseases, Crohn's, colitis, IBS, you will have an even more increased risk. So you want to take that into account. Pancreatitis is increased by 900%.
Yeah, the risk of pancreatitis being increased by 900%. You need your pancreas, people.
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know what the percentage of gallbladder is, but there is a gallbladder lawsuit out there for anyone who has problems with their gallbladder. That there's a lawsuit against Ozempic. The other thing is that it can affect the kidney. I don't have exact information about that. I also know that it thickens the walls of the bowel. So this is another problem here. When you have the bowel thickening, this can increase the bowel obstruction. It can also, like I said, make it so that you can't absorb nutrients. And then the last, very least thing is that they're talking about giving this to children, which I really worry because these children are not going to have the nutrients they need to build strong bodies. They're not going to build a metabolism. They're not going to be able to build an immune system. They're not going to have the strength they need. They're not going to grow up big and strong.
This is very bad. I mean, if they start giving this drug to people, to children, it's just not a good idea. They need to take Lizzo instead.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that I learned in school is that, people say you're an adult when you're like 18, 21, but your bodies actually do not stop growing until you're in your 30s. There's something that, there's been a lot of studies where men and women who grew up in impoverished families, when they join the military, they get fed all this food, right? They get fed a massive amount of calories, and they're doing exercise every single day. And a lot of them have grown like inches during that time.
Happened to a friend of ours, too.
Yeah, happened to a friend of ours, happened to my brother as well. Like, we weren't malnourished as children, but my brother's was really super tall, and then he got even taller when he was in the military. Because they're really they're pushing the nutrients, they're pushing the exercise and everything. And they get you right at that age that you're still growing. And it's amazing to me that people would want to take the nutrients, take away the ability for these people to grow into strong people. And I just would not want to enter those side effects. That's what I would worry about,
It's not worth it.
It's really is not worth it.
I understand there's a lot of people out there who are unhappy with their body. And like I said, I'm not exactly happy with my body either. And Ellen's not happy with her body. None of us are happy with our bodies right now, okay? Everybody is overweight. I mean, most people are overweight.
Yeah, all over the world, too.
All over the world. And it's just not... We need to take some Lizzo and just be grateful that we are alive and have food to eat. And if we're alive for less time because, we're not as healthy for whatever reason, and you can be healthy at any size. It really depends on your diet and how much you exercise. I mean, we would exercise more, but most of the time she's not feeling up to it. And I can't walk for very far without having pain in my legs. That's why I'm going to physical therapy. So it really comes down to diet, what you're actually eating, what you're putting in your body.
And how much you're moving. A few years ago, even during the pandemic, we were able to ride our bicycles more, and we
didn't ride our bicycles during the pandemic that much.
We did some. We did it more than last year.
Well, yeah, that's different. We're older now, and we can do less.
But there was also the smoke in the air from the fires, from the wildfires. But it's really important for us to stay active as a world. And this drug may give people excuses to not do any movement. I'll just be skinny with the Ozempic.
And just be lazy.
And I'll just not eat. And that's not good. You need food. You need to put it in your mouth. You need to eat it. But if you are worried about your health, you need to increase your vegetables. You need to increase your fruits.
And if your insurance plan covers nutritionists, see a nutritionist.
Also, there's so many hospitals and local organizations that actually have free programs. If you're on SNAP, you can get free advice. And all the hospitals in the area, they always have free nutrition. If you're diabetic, there's tons of free things online. You want to, really important with all the misinformation out there, you have to understand that there's a difference between a nutritionist and a dietitian. Okay? A dietitian is not the same as a nutritionist. Okay? So you need to make sure that you see somebody who actually has who has a degree in actually being able to tell you what's good for you, and not just someone who received a certificate. And you want to make sure that you are eating what's good for your body and what can help heal you. And that's what I try to do every single day. I try to eat foods like ginger and garlic and, protein sources like yogurt and, whatever it is that on that day, like turmeric, that I feel like I need for my body. We've been trying to eat a lot of beans because that helps you with fiber, and chia seeds, but everybody has a different dietary requirement. So you want to keep that in mind. You don't want to just... Is that Emma? She's playing. Yeah. Everybody has different requirements. But there is good news about all of these drugs. The fact that they have come out in about 5 to 10 years, they will become safer if we're patient. Within the next 5 to 10 years, number one, it'll probably be a pill. That's one thing. And as they keep making more of these types of drugs, they're going to have less side effects. We're going to know how this affects the body. We're going to know what the long-term effects are. They'll find a way
to just target the fat-producing cells.
Right.
They'll find a way to just target the gut.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like your medicine, your Entyvio.
Right, like Entyvio. And this is also a conversation you really want to have with your doctor.
Yeah.
What you want to do is you write...
Oh, hold on. One thing before you... That just reminds me.
Mm-hmm.
Do not fucking get that shit from Weight Watchers. I don't know why the fuck Weight Watchers, that fucking cult, is fucking set...
And Noom.
Do Ozempic.
Noom
too?
It's not safe to
It is not safe for
a weight
loss.
Loss drug from a weight loss club. It doesn't... You want to talk to your doctor.
You want a doctor to prescribe this shit.
You
if
want
you need it at all. You really shouldn't
write
be doing
a list.
it all right now. But if you have to have it because of diabetes, get a doctor to help you. Do not get it from a fucking weight loss clinic.
Okay? Make a list of the pros and cons, okay? We have a couple friends who are on it, and they're not having a problem, and that's their choice, and they are actually doing better with it. And they have... The people that I know that are on it have so many medical issues that having something like this in their life is making it so that they can move more. It's making it so that they are able to perform the functions that they're on, and their health is not good at all to start, okay? So for them, these risks, it's okay. Okay, they're weighing the risk, okay? So like for me, I have Crohn's disease. I'm putting poison in my body every month with Entyvio. I've weighed that risk, okay? I'm saying I want to be able to live and not be in pain, but I'm going to put this poison in my body, okay? But if you are already healthy to a point where maybe you only take a couple prescription drugs a month, you're able to go for walks, you're able to go to movies, you're able to eat a pretty healthy diet, okay? Maybe you can shed 10 to 20 pounds on your own. Don't take this drug, okay? But if you're one of those people who really, you're diabetic, you can't move around on your own, you might have some other health issue, like, I'm not going to describe what my friends have, but if you have other illnesses that you're probably going to die from anyway, go ahead and do it, because this is going to help you, okay? You've talked to your doctor about it. So I'm not 100% against Ozempic. What I'm saying is talk to your doctor. Weigh the risks.
You can wait a few years for these drugs to get better, because they're not. This is the beginning.
This is the beginning. It's like you don't want the first iPhone that came out.
No.
Okay, it burns up in your hand and it blows up. Wait for the third or fourth one to come out, and then it's like, this is not the one that's going to blow up.
The same thing works for technology that works for drugs. You want to wait till there's been some tried and true testing, and it's been some trials.
In the meantime,
some real clinical studies.
The best diet out there is the Mediterranean diet. If you want to go on a diet, they say this is the best diet, Mediterranean diet. You can try the Japanese food diet, where they have like 5 dishes for each meal. You have a soup, something baked, fermented food. You can try that, okay? Get in 150 minutes of exercise a week. See a physical therapist if you have movement problems. See a nutritionist. Talk to your primary care doctor. Get all your medical makeup for your vitamins. Get a CBC. Get your wellness check. Don't just rush to get this drug, okay? We care about you. We don't want to lose our population to this. We don't want you to have gastroparesis or pancreatitis or bowel obstruction, for heaven's sake. So just stick with us, enjoy the content with courage, and thanks for staying till the end. Take care of yourself.
Bye, guys.